Okay, it says I started, but I'm gonna. Oh yeah, I forgot one more thing. Stupid me. Better to do it now than wait 20 minutes. Every little bit I can get. I decided to monetize the view. Although I've only, I've really made a lot of money doing this. I tell you, if it wasn't for me loving the glass, I definitely wouldn't be in still teaching and doing this. Okay, another thing I've got to do is wait, wrong direction. Uh, I got to go to um, create a new tab. Let's see if that does it. What I'm looking. Oh yes. Now I'm in the video chat room too. Okay, let's get this. It's been about 2.5 weeks, and I'm sorry about that. It's been very busy and very crazy. For one of the things is I had to take my um, son back to Michigan, and oh, there's something on the screen here, right on my face, so I got to clean it up. Anyway, my son back to Michigan, and he was a joy to have for the summer. Um, look forward to next summer, or maybe even being there next summer with him. I don't know. It all depends on what goes on in our lifestyles. Um, I know it's been a while, and I'm sorry about that. But like I say, it's been a real crazy couple of weeks. And one of the things I thought about doing is going ahead a season or two. And a couple of you have already done this, like uh, Paula Pro, making icicles with figurines on them. And I hadn't really thought about that before. And that's a really nice idea. Um, the ones I have done just recently are just ones with little angels on top of them, as you can see, and they work out really well. I think that's the first thing I'm going to do today is icicles. Another one, and if somebody comes into the live chat room and says something to me, all they got to do is say hi, and we can go from there. Oh, this is going to get a little bulky, isn't it? Never mind. I just gotta. All right, I'm in my own. If I wasn't in my own way, I'd be in nobody's way at all. Let's go ahead and go back to the overview of the torch. There we are. Move it around just slightly. As you can see my screen. And I think I need to put a lens on that thing too. So we shall accomplish that task. Like so. Wait a minute. Is that going to hold? No, of course not. Where's the one I want? Oh, here it is. Maybe that's the one I want. We shall see. I got several of these prototypes sitting around, and I thought I used the right one, and I didn't. So let's go to the other one. Okay, 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 okay. There we are. Nudges in. May as well clean off the lens a little bit. There we go. Oh, and that fell on the floor. Boy, am I in good shape today. But again, I have not done this in a while. So excuse my. When you've done it 3 or 4 times a week, you get there we go. Maybe I did it backwards. That's what the problem was. I did it backwards. Here we go. Snugs right in and keeps right up. So sweet. Now I've got to angle it right so that you can see what's going on inside the flame. Okay, first things first. Turn on the concentrator. I'm only going to use the 10 liter per minute at this point, but we'll go from there. Second, let's light this thing up and see if we can't get some flame going on. Okay, how come it's playing with me again? Come on. You ever feel like quitting before you even start? You know how that is. But persistence pays off. Okay, and here we go. Torch is going to get a little snug for me. Okay, first of all, what I'm going to do is the basic icicle. And you can do this several ways. And the one is you flatten a little piece of glass and then spin and twist. Or you could just start twisting and twisting and twisting and then get some twist going on. Uh, but what I basically do for an icicle is show up and heat about an inch to an inch and a half. If I'm doing a large amount, maybe I'll even make it a little bit of a ball, and then. But then what I do is I square it up like so. I flatten it on one side and then flatten it on another, just like so. And what that does, instead of making a ribbon and twisting it, and you've only got two swirls going on. Now with each one of these corners that's on this square, you get a little bit of a twist going on, and that twist will look like you've corkscrewed it even tighter and more. In other words, it looks tighter anyway. Okay, got to get a. Here we go. First of all, touch it too. Heat it up on the squares and start pulling. And as you start pulling, you can sort of give it a little corkscrew twist. And as you corkscrew twist it, there you go. Now, just a regular icicle if you want to do it, and basically using my new hole punch, I'm going to make that one into one right now, just as is. And of course, there's my hole punch. What you do is in heat, let it start to solidify a little bit, and then punch through and twist a little bit, and maybe give it a little bit of a. Then you heat it up again and flare it out and roll it around inside that hole. And you got a nice loop going on an icicle. That's the individual icicle, as it were. Okay? You make a half a dozen of those to a dozen and give them to somebody as a Christmas gift, and then they'll be happier than you would think for a Christmas tree. Now the second type of icicle is one with figurines on it, and I'm going to do about 2 or 3 different figurines. And what I'm going to do also is go ahead and do a few icicles up ahead of time, make the figurines, and then pop them on the top of the icicles. How's that sound? Yeah, we'll get there. Oh, by the way, thank you everyone. Getting up there in subscribers. I know that some of you guys were being a little hesitant at subscribing and becoming number 666, but it seems like somebody finally took the plunge, and I'm now at 671 on subscribers on my YouTube channel, which is a cool thing. I'm excited about it. So here we go. I'm going to heat and twist and make the icicles. There we go. Probably the top that the tip is on, I mean that the punte is on, will be the top of the icicle in this one, because it looks like a nice little something to add to. And we'll go to the next. Again, I want to apologize for not doing a show sooner. But you know me, sometimes time just flies when you're having fun, and you can forget a few things in the meantime. Been wanting to, but finally things came together. So here I am. Again, if you have a request, something that you would like to see done, but have not done, as you can see that today's thing will probably be mostly on icicle theme. And what I'm doing again is I heat up the rod and I flatten it to a square or a rectangle, four-sided icicle or a four-sided rod, and then heat it up and pull it out into an icicle. And if anybody's in the chat room, probably not. It doesn't look like it. It looks like I'm the only one in there. I guess I have been away too long. Nobody's been looking for me even. Oh well, we'll get there. And I will try to, on a regular basis, even if it's just an uploaded from the phone, hello, goodbye, so that you guys can at least know that I'm alive and well and doing fine and whatever. I should have done it during the trip. I also want to tell you that my son, Brian, you saw him in a couple of the last couple of videos that I've done, him doing some torch work behind me. When I went back to Michigan with him, I also took a propane tank that was empty and an oxygen concentrator and a welding hose for his torch, and he also got a national. I think it's a six, the stand torch, the bench torch for the national, and a couple of torch tips to go with it. So he is going to be set when he finally. The worst part is when we got there, everybody was moving to a new location, so we had to pack up everything anyway and move it on. During the trip, during one of the moves, it got cold during the night, and she was saying, "Man, it's cold here." And I told her, I said, "Well, what do you expect? You moved an hour further north than you were before." And she's already in Michigan, so brr. And every hour further north in that state, you can get quite the temperature change, right? I see someone is watching. If you want to chime in in the chat room, that's great. If you can't, I understand. Um, Now these are icicles that I'm making real quick, and I'm only doing the bottom parts right now, but now I've got 3 of these up and ready. That's why I have the pillow in my lap and it's still rolled into my legs. Oh, life goes on. We're okay. Nothing major. Also, I have another video that my son did before he left that I have not put up, and I will probably do that sometime this week. And you'll have to, it was not under my supervision. He wanted to just do one and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. And he had a great time that day. And I had to go to sleep because I had to work that night. And he decided to come out here and do a video. So give me another day or two. And again, you'll have to excuse it. It was unsupervised. I will probably give a good intro to it and then let it go as is, I guess. We shall see. Anyway, let's first thing, let's do a sea turtle icicle. And why not put a little bit of dichro to it? Because I can, right? Just a little bit, not a lot. This is going to be a small, it's not going to be overly ornate. It's just going to be a little bit of sparkly glittery on top of an icicle, right? Right. Now, get this down, probably half of that, and that'll be two whatevers. Ah, even before I had hot glass in my hand, I have an itch in my eye or face. That's a that's a gimme when I sit down and do glass, right? Okay, we're going to get a hold of a clear rod and now make the turtle shell. I forgot to clean off this rod. Let's see if this side is any better. Oh yeah, a little bit better. And I'm only going to do about two or three of these. Simple, basic. I say simple and basic, and what am I doing? I'm putting dichro glass in it. Press it down, and you make sure that the dichro is about the right size for the glass you're putting it to. Heat it in a little bit, press it down again, and now let's use, well, we got this color. No, 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 no. Which one? Here we go. No, here we go. Some moon blue, it looks like. We'll use for the, okay, I usually cover the bottom. And this is going to be a small one because, again, it's going on top of an icicle. Okay, let's be with that. You know, I used to have two of these round things, but being a good dad, I let my son take one of the graphite discs to so that he could have something on his table to make sure he's got a flattener. I also gave him a paddle and a couple of other graphite things. So that's his story, and I'm sticking to it, right? Fire polish that off. And now we're going to put some fins and head and tail on it and then attach it to a icicle. Right, right. Let's see. That's a good place for a fin. Okay. Tap that one off there. It needed to be in a different location anyway. Sorry about the wind blow, but turns out the fan is right here near me. But I'm trying to not get too much of it in there. Right, right. Again, the sea turtle is normal. And I'm only going to do like a sea turtle and an elephant, and then I'm going to call it quits for this show. Oh, and an angel. I did an angel, didn't I? No, I didn't. I just did a regular icicle. Excuse me. I've been doing the angels. Okay. Here's the head to the sea turtle. I figured I'd get ahead on. Get ahead. Yeah. Here I am talking about making the sea turtle head. Get going on Christmas stuff now, so that now's the time to start because Christmas is just around the corner. I wouldn't doubt it if the local mega marts very shortly start having Christmas stuffing them right around Halloween, right? Don't give it time for the seasons to, so all the seasons just blend right in, right? Okay. Sea turtle. This dichrois sea turtle is looking really nice anyway. Just as itself, if I made it into a pendant. And here's the secret of my sea turtles and some of them anyway. So I heat up the body, and it's nice and round, cylindrical, as you can see right now. But I heat up the body, and I stretch it just slightly. You got to do it just right and stretch it just slightly. And what that does is it takes it from a round to an oval, like a regular sea turtle shell. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Now, the icicle itself, we'll use, this one looks good. And I did this with the sea turtle goblet that I did a while back, and I can put a reference to that in the video. But instead of straight up and down or up like this, I'm going to do a little bit sideways and then put a loop right on one of the fins. There we go. Looks like I got one of the fins sort of off kilter. Oh, great. A little bit more of the glass stayed on the punte than needed. There we go. I got to fix this back fin here. Hey, Beth. Again, sorry that I have not done videos in a while, but it's good that you're watching. I Now, this is a sea turtle icicle, and I've got to straighten it just a little bit. And I'm going to put a loop, let's see, right on the top of his shell, just right there will be good. There we are. And this is where the loop is going to be for the top of the icicle. Either that looks like a growth on the sea turtle, I don't know. Now, secret to, I do just, now that I've learned this buttonhole punch that I've made, I basically round it in to almost a round blob, let it cool slightly on the surface. And then I come and press it just a little bit below the center line on it. That's where I usually punch. And it goes usually all the way through. This time I'm not sure. Yeah, it did. And then what I do is I heat it back up a little bit and bring the two teeth together and just sort of ream it out, as you can see, until I get the right size loop for the right size piece going on. And we got one sea turtle icicle. Pretty. And again, I credit my creation of the sea turtle or the icicles to seeing what Paula Perot did with some of hers. And I know she got it from somewhere else, but that's where I saw it first. So that's where I'm going to give credit where credit's due. And she can probably say thank you later or whatever, but I've enjoyed immensely all the things that I do, and showing you guys that, it's not just one way of doing things, but 1,000 ways to do something if you try hard enough. In other words, you don't just have to do an elephant a certain size. I do elephants in all sizes and all shapes. Now this one, I say all sizes and all shapes, and I usually do the standing elephant, but you know what? I'm going to do a sit-down type elephant. So like my teddy bears on this one, with his trunk sort of swinging up and over. And first of all, I've got to get enough glass going on here for the elephant. Let it sort of accumulate there. Thank Beth. I like making them. It's. I try to let you feel. When I talk like everybody's just over my shoulder, and that if they have a question, I try to think of it before you do and answer it. But there are sometimes I forget something, and if you guys do have a request or a question with anything that goes on, I do answer my comments one right after another if I can remember. Okay, I'm going to do the legs to the elephant first. Here we go. 4 legs. And again, it's going to be sort of like an elephant sitting down, and his trunk is going to be going up, of course. And basic, but on the end of an icicle instead of just a figurine sitting somewhere. I think this one will go real well. I could do, after this one, I'm going to do an angel. Okay. And I know that this video is a little long. I know I started to try to do 30-minute ones, but this one in particular, since I haven't been here in a while, I'm going to make it longer than normal because you never know. I guess I could make these and then download them and break them up into smaller bits, but I still like sitting down and chatting with you guys. Okay, there's the head to the elephant. Now, depending on where you put the ears on the top of this thing, right now it could be a teddy bear, it could be a mouse, it could be, but depending on where you put the ears on this thing, like this one, of course, I'm going to do the fold and pull and make sure like the big, Dumbo type ears. Maybe a little less there. There we go. Do another one. Again, I pull up, fold over, pull up. Once you get the hang of this, it really does make some of your steps less painful and, cut corners without cutting quality. Okay. There we are. There's the ears to this elephant. Now we're going to put the trunk on. Yeah, it's going to get its trunk on. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put the loop on the end of the trunk because of where I'm putting the loop, where I'm putting the trunk. There we go. One thing I forgot on this guy, some eyes. And I got some green sitting right here. Let's see if I can condense it down to make some eyes with it. There we go. Okay, one green eye. Another green eye. Now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and put a loop on the top of the trunk. And that should be centered pretty much. And that is going to be icicle number 2. And again, with this new hole punch that I've been doing, I really do like it. And it's one of those things that now that I've started using it, it's like, how did I do this without it? Okay. You let it cool just a little bit, solidify just on the surface slightly, and I go a little bit below half and press. And I also, oops, that was not good, but it'll be okay. Back on there, no problem. And then I go back in, heat up just where I made the hole, and I go back in and I ream around the hole itself, and it comes out quite nice and loopy. And I think I'm going to make it to about this size right here. I'm going to take a little bit of that icicle off the bottom. Okay. And there we are. One elephant icicle. Now, third one is an angel. And I'm going to do it from scratch. And I'll show you what I do to make the angels to like the cloth. And I don't know if you can see this on this video or not. We'll look and see, but you can see the ripples in the tunic that the angel is wearing. Okay, and those ripples are basically where I've lined the rod on the outside. You can take 3, 4, or 5 millimeter rod and just line it. And this is not going to make just one angel. This is going to make several angels at the size that I'm making them. Okay? Anyway, let's keep going. And that's what I do is I just heat it up, and I'm heating up the rod that I'm adding to the rod. I'm not heating up the rod that I'm heating up this thin strand and lining it just like pencil on a paper. Okay? And I go back and I heat up just around that area so that it seals it together a little bit better. Then I'm going to heat up and stretch this guy. And as I stretch it, it elongates the body and changes the ripples in and you can see the length will be very nice. I can probably get 2, maybe 3 angels out of this with the size of angel that I do. So that works. Now, I want to show you something. No, I'll show you in a little bit, but not right quite yet. Almost there. Almost. Okay. First thing is you put the arms on my angel, like so. And I usually do what I call an L bend arm. I bend it out and then bend it and make an L shape real quick, real painless. And I go and do it again on the other side. And I put a little bit forward so that you got the arms in front and the wings in back. Now this is where I guess you could say change from time to time. Sometimes I put the wings on first and then the head, and sometimes I put the head on first and then the wings. It doesn't really matter, but you just make the decision from there and put one on and then put the other on. This time I'm putting the head on first, rounding it down. Okay. Looks like one of the hands sort of got a little bit distorted. Heat it and bend it. Now the wings. This is what I was going to tell you about before. The same basic stroke that I just made the elephant ear. This time I'll do it up instead of down and make an angel wing. There's one wing. See, once you learn how to do that basic step, it's something that you can repeat in other areas and use it well. This same basic stroke of fold and pull I do for the turtle fins, I do for the angel wings, I do for, see now again, let me show you the elephant ears upside down. And and you can see they have the same basic structure. I pointed out a little bit different for the angel wing and pointed it down and curve it out for the ears. So it's the same basic movement, just subtle changes make subtle difference, and it makes the biggest difference in anything and everything you do. In other words, you just move it a little bit this way or a little bit that way, and you've got a totally different, what I call the alpha part of the alphabet of shapes, I guess you could say. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the loop on top. Then I'll add it to an icicle. And with this show, this after I do this one, I'm going to be done for this show. And again, I plan on probably doing another one tomorrow night or even later tonight. I'm not sure. Or tomorrow morning. Guys, tell me when you guys think it's better for me to do a show. I get off work at about 7 in the morning. Maybe I could do one shortly after I get out of work, but most of the people on the West Coast would still be asleep because it'd be like 3 or 4 in their morning. So maybe if I did it about 10 or 12 o'clock in the afternoon after I take a nap or something, or when would you, and try to remember that I'm on East Coast time, and right now it's 7:12 or 7:17 anyway, and to those people on the West Coast, that's 3 hours difference. On the Mountain Time, that's 2 hours difference. And if you're in England, of course, that's like, oh yeah, 6 hours ahead of me. I mean, behind, yeah, but ahead of me. So it's now going on 12 midnight there. Okay, that's basically the body for the angel. I just pulled it off and I'm pressing it down, and it comes in handy to do that. Now I have, I think, one more icicle around here somewhere. If not, I'll use one of the ones that I put a loop on the top already and go from there. Sorry about the wind. I seem to be leaning down into it. Oh, here we go. This will be good. I got to stretch it just a little bit and change it just slightly, and we'll use this one. Same basic icicle situation. I made a cube, and then I twisted the cube. And I'm going to use this and turn that into like a little ball for the angel to stand on. There we go. There's the ball. It's like standing on a globe or something. There we go. And now just marry the two of them together. And we're down to one more. Angel icicle. I like them. So pretty. And you could put whatever you want on top. I would like to see on the melting memory page, if you can, what your idea on icicles is. I know Paula Perot has a few, but there's an angel icicle. There's I've also done the sea turtle. I want to see what you can do with an icicle if you can. If not, then if you have another suggestion for a show coming up, give me a chat in on these videos, and we'll see what we can do. Let me find where I put the mouse. Of course, it's underneath something in the back and the bottom. And switch back over to the, yeah, I am. Thank you for being there. I do appreciate it. Be patient with me. Of course, I'll have other videos coming up, and requests. Never hurts to have one or two. And until next time, enjoy your day and carpe vitro. I miss my son. He would be behind me saying carpe vitro before I could. It's like, Darr! But that's what sons are for. Frustrate the living daylights out of you, and you love them all the same. Thank you. And again, enjoy your day. Where is that? Oh, it's over there. Where is the mouse? Just doesn't want to. come over to the. Oh, here we are. Hello. Bye for now.